Welcome back to Building on a Budget models for the final part of our Lancia Delta Group A rally car build by Italeri. As I said in my previous video, the hose that connects to the fuel cap doesn't actually fit inside. However, you can put it into the cap and then insert it once the body has been put onto the chassis. This works quite well. There is also a decal that goes on the fuel cap, but I decided to leave it. I then painted the insides of the lights in silver metallic. I used orange Sharpie for the front indicators. The housings for them had already been painted silver, and I just used a small dab of PVA glue. Because I hadn't glued the front bumper in place, it means that it can be removed when doing jobs like this. I then added the front headlights. When the driver's side door and the door card go together, it creates a small slot for the driver's side window. This is a really good system, as it means that you can lower the window as it would look in a real car. I think more scale models should have features like this. When colouring the tail lights in, start with orange before red, as the red will go over the orange quite happily, whereas orange over red isn't quite as easy. The emergency shut-off button near the front windscreen was covered with a little yellow gloss. Then I added the small E decal next to it. The tail lights fit in really snugly, and they only needed a little bit of glue to fit into place. I borrowed some disc brakes from the Tamiya Rally Mechanics set because this car didn't come with them. Unfortunately, they didn't have calipers on, so after painting them silver with a little bit of gold in the centre, I cut off a spare bit of flat sprue and attached that to be a caliper. I think it looks good enough, and you can barely see it behind the wheels. I considered adding a suspension as well, but decided that I wouldn't bother this time. With a little bit of superglue they were secured in place, but I made sure to let it dry before I added the wheel. There were small black centre caps for each of the four wheels. There's a small vent at the front which I tried to open up using a craft knife, but was worried about damaging it, so instead I used a little bit of Tamiya panel line accent and then wiped off any excess with a cotton bud. I was happy with how this turned out. It gave a good amount of definition. The wing mirrors were coloured in gloss black. Unfortunately, the rear side of them is concave instead of flat. When I tried painting it silver, they just didn't look like wing mirrors. Therefore, instead, I decided to use a bit of the aluminium foil tape that I had. Firstly, I carefully flattened them and stuck them over the opening on the wing mirrors. Then I used a craft knife and a pair of nail scissors to trim around the edges. Finally, to make them look a little more realistic, I used my black Sharpie to draw a little black edge to make them look more like the mirror was housed by the wing mirror. I then used a little super glue just to glue them in place, and I was happy with how they turned out. The windscreen wipers were done in flat black and went in without any problems. There were small sponsor decals to go on the wing mirrors. I used a little bit of micro sol as the curved surface of the wing mirror didn't really want to settle. There are small reversing lights either side of the number plate. These are very fiddly and you have to make sure you get them the right way up or they will not go in. The front of the skid pan that goes underneath and covers up where the engine should be needs to be white at the front so that you can add a Fiat decal. The rest of it was done in matte black. I added these small silver toe clips to the front of the bumper. The rest of the kit bonnet clips, though, I replaced with photo etch parts from Model Factory Hero. Finally, I decided to use some spare mud flaps that I had left over from the Toyota Castrol Celica rally car kit. The Delta on the box has mud flaps, but there were none in the kit, so I thought that this really added to the look. And here's the finished car. Unfortunately, the driver's side door doesn't close very well, but I feel that having an opening door is quite a unique feature amongst 1/24 scale models. I enjoyed this. It's difficult to find the Hasegawa version in the UK, and so I was satisfied that this was a decent version. I recommend it to others, but it may be a little challenging for the beginner. I hope you found the tips and guides in this video useful. I'll finish off with a few more looks at the car, but please remember to comment, like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to click the bell icon to keep notified for future builds. Thanks, I'll see you soon.